reason why I'm always interested when you start that process and that journey to transition from just like I'm just on the corner rapping, so to speak, to actually trying to produce quality songs that can get you exposure and get it out to fans and build a base and all of that. I'm always interested where that shift comes, because someone on the outside looking in doesn't necessarily know all the work that it takes. Like you were just saying, like engineering, like most people don't even know that's a process. You know what I mean? Like
I almost feel like in music they hide it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, absolutely.
No one ever wants to like show how they got to the top of, you know what I'm saying? Like you look at, like you said, a lot of actor success stories, and it's more or less written out, the blueprint, what they had to do, whether it was getting headshots. It's like that's the whole thing with more or less anything else in this world aside from certain aspects of entertainment. There's blueprints. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. There's certain things that you need to do, and if you follow that, then you'll prosper. You know what I'm saying? If you want to model and you just go and get headshots, and then you join an agency, that's kind of just the blueprint, and you're gonna do good, more or less. And from there, it's just like your talent is gonna separate you. In this field, it's totally different. It's just like, okay, we're all scrambling. None of us have any idea what we're doing. Even the stuff that was getting number ones 20 years ago, the stuff that was getting number ones 5 years ago ain't even working no more. Mm-hmm. So it's just like, it's constantly being reinvented. And on top of that, it's just like, everyone's just in a clusterfuck. And then the people that do know what they're doing, 9 times out of 10 are just extorting the lower class so they could feed their pockets, because they probably not making that much money off of it, because they didn't know the business as much as they should when they were coming up. And it's just like one big like ravenous cycle of just like, I don't know, almost like people just chasing clout and doing for self. It is very inauthentic in a way. And I was even saying, like, the music industry is getting so beat because music nowadays is starting to become like acting in a way that it matters what's off record. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, we not judging a rapper, okay, how good is his music? We like, okay, he a real nigga. He just did a bid for this song. He just shot at this nigga. He just did this. He just did this. And then we kind of like people for what's going on record, even if on record they're ass. You know what I'm saying? And then you got people that might have been good on record 10 years ago that haven't been good on record for a minute, that like they just get excused because they've had the track record. And it's just like, it's all a big game of marketing more than anything. It's scary.
True.
Propaganda.
That is true. You know, like you think music is one of those, especially rap music, hip-hop music, it is one of those art forms that we hold to a different degree. Now, don't get me wrong, there are some things I don't want to let go of, you know, like ghostwriting. Even though I love Kanye, I was disappointed when I found out he had writers, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I look at him as like he's more of like an artist and not so much a rapper, you know what I mean? And he presents himself that way, so I guess I excuse it, but it's just like, I don't know, like if I found out 50 Cent didn't write his raps, like that would bother me. You know what I mean? Yeah. So there's some things I don't want to let go of, but at the same time, it's like when I listen to Jeezy, for instance, you know, because I'm from the South, so like a lot of it's going to be like, you know, Southern music that I listen to, but like when I listen to someone like Jeezy and he's talking, like I know he's not still Dylan, you know what I mean? Like I understand that this is entertainment as well. You know what I mean? It's like a lot of people like Denzel from Training Day, but they don't think Denzel's really out there doing that type of shit. You know what I mean? And if they find him eating a steak at a nice restaurant with a sweater on, they're not going to be like, oh, you're not real. Like what is this? You know what I mean? Like, so anyways, I do, that's an interesting point. I don't think people think about that enough. You know what I mean?
That's not afforded to rappers. We're not allowed to tell stories outside of just our mind frame where you just was fucking capping. Like, Johnny Cash could sit here and talk about how he robbed the fucking bank and then slapped the hooker and rode away on a big green trailer, and like, it's all well and good. You know what I'm saying? And also, rap is one of those things, it's a young man's game more than any sort of music. You have rock bands that are like 60 years old that if they dropped the album today would still sell and they would be just fine. Whereas rap is just like, we kind of look at a rapper like if you're Jay-Z's age and you're not talking about Jay-Z shit, then it's almost like you need to grow up. Like, oh, what's he think? He's still 25? Like,
True.
Jay-Z kind of has to take that angle of just like, now I'm going to school y'all to how you do this shit because that's some old head shit.
Yeah, he couldn't really do Blueprint 2. He's got to do 444. Like, he's...
You know what I'm saying?
I get that. But see, I think we're in the first generation where we're actually going to see what that looks like with people like Jay-Z and people who are still putting... Because I can remember, this is so funny, but I remember when the Game was like going against, G-Unit and everything, and on the One Blood song, he's like, you're 38 and you still rapping? And now, like, he's 38 and still rapping. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It used to be something you've never seen. Never.
Exactly.
And now you're starting to see that more, and 38 doesn't seem old at all. You know what I mean? And then when you think Jay-Z was like, what, 30? What was he when Reasonable Doubt came out? 30? Maybe 30? Like, most people don't know. He was like, or maybe 29? I don't know. He was like older. He was not 18.
Around like 20. He might have been like 25, 26 or something.
See, I thought he was older than that. I thought he was like 28 or something. Anyways.
Was he with Beyonce at this time?
Not like his first album ever, Reasonable Doubt. Like, I think he was close to 30 years old.
I know when he got with Beyonce, he was like 30.
Yeah. But regardless, man, that is just, it's crazy because, like same thing with Nipsey Hussle. Like, I mean, he was, he was older. He wasn't 20.
2 Chainz, Big Sean.
Mm-hmm.
There's mad people who just got it, like, super. But a lot of times they say the longer it takes for you to get on, the longer you stay on.
True. It's interesting.